You'll find the link to Smart Contract Basics guide in the description and pinned in comments below. Most people think Bitcoin halvings are a golden ticket to niche riches. But the truth, halvings have quietly wiped out half of portfolios before the market even recovered. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what really happens when halvings hit, why most beginners get destroyed, and the one rule that could save your portfolio. Not what you expect. Stay until the end for the single rule pro traders use to survive halvings. You will learn three things. First, what a halving does to supply and miner behavior. Second, three real historical price patterns you must recognize. Third, the one practical strategy to manage risk. And there is a hidden mistake almost every newbie makes after a halving. Don't make it. If you want clear, no hype crypto lessons that keep you from costly mistakes, subscribe now. New videos every week for beginners who want to learn without the fluff. Alright, let's start with the basics. But first, why does everyone treat halvings like magic? It sounds technical, but a halving is basically a switch that cuts Bitcoin's supply growth in half overnight. Sounds simple, so why does that lead to months of chaos? Imagine a bakery that bakes 100 loaves daily. One day the government says you will bake 50 loaves instead. If demand stays the same, each loaf becomes more valuable. Bitcoin's network does that with new coins every 4 years. Miners get half the reward, that's a supply shock. But here is the catch. Miners don't just accept it. Some turn off machine, some sell more. That behavior can flip the market fast and painfully. Next, the three historical patterns everyone obsesses over, and one pattern almost nobody expects. Not all halvings equal profit. Pattern 1 looks like certainty. Prices often rally before a halving. But is that safe? In 2012 and 2016, markets priced in the halving months ahead. Traders buy in anticipation, that creates a buy the rumor rally. But those rallies sometimes happen long before the halving. That leaves late buyers exposed. So the fear is real. Buy too late and you get crushed when sellers take profits. Greed pushes people in, then panic pushes them out. Next, the twist. Rallies can reverse into the biggest traps. We'll see that now. Don't buy because everyone's talking about it. After the halving, the predictable thing is that miner revenue drops. The unpredictable thing is what miners do next. Miners have fixed costs: electricity, rigs, loans. When rewards drop, some stop mining and sell their holdings. That increases supply on exchanges. In past cycles, this caused sharp drops right after halvings. Even when the long-term trend was upward, a factory closing plants and liquidating inventory. Here is the fear. You could enter after the pre-halving rally and face a miner-driven dump. Your account balance gets sliced. But wait, there is a counterintuitive behavior that sometimes flips the script. Coming up, pattern 3, miners can make the crash worse or trigger the next bull run. The long game is what most people celebrate. Fewer coins entering the market, lower inflation, prices potentially rise, but there is more to that story. Historically, about 6 to 12 months after a halving, reduced supply combined with renewed institutional demand, macro tailwinds, or improvised infrastructure cause sustained rallies, but the timing varies. Sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it takes 18 months. Hope sells the narrative. People see halvings equal big gains and fear of missing out in. That hope can be profitable, but only if you understand the timeline and risk. This is where most education stops, but below the surface hides the real mistake almost everyone makes. We'll expose it next. Hidden mistake. The secret mistake is treating halving like an event, not a process. Buying because of the word halving without a plan. Most viewers act on headlines. That's where money is lost. A beginner I coached bought at the top of a pre-halving rally. He held through a minor dump. Then he sold out in panic and locked a 35% loss. This explains even why even historical patterns fail you if you ignore liquidity, position sizing, and exit rules. Now I'll give you the one rule to avoid that mistake and a simple strategy to put it into practice. Here is the single rule pro traders use to survive halvings. It's simple and most people ignore it. The rule is size your position around drawdown risk, not potential gain. Translation: decide how much of your portfolio you can afford to lose, then buy in measured tranches. Step 1 is position sizing. Never risk more than X percent of your portfolio on speculative bets. For example, 1 to 5% adjust per risk profile. Step 2 is staggered entries. Buy in 3 to 5 tranches across the pre-halving period and after the halving to average price and reduce timing risk. Step 3 is a defined exit plan. Step stop loss or partial take profit levels and a rule for re-entry after major volatility. Treat each trade like an experiment with measured samples. This takes the emotional roller coaster out. Instead of panicking during dumps, you have a plan so fear doesn't decide for you. Now, a surprising tweak most people miss that increases returns without adding risk. Three steps equal calmer decisions. Want a trick that most beginners don't use? Trade around volatility. Windows, not calendar dates. Instead of rigidly buying on a calendar halving, watch liquidity and volatility indicators. Order book depth, funding rates, and minor sell pressure. Enter when volatility comes after a sell off and liquidity refills. That timing beats guessing the halving day. This reduces the chance you buy the peak of a pre-halving frenzy. It's cooler and it keeps your money safer. Next, the most important psychological rule that decides whether you keep compounding returns or lose it all. Calm beats hype. Markets aren't just numbers, they are people. Your psychology matters more than any chart. Set rules that remove emotion. Automated buys, sell limits, and written trading plans. Avoid social media noise for 24 to 72 hours. After major halving events, opinions spike and logic drops. Build accountability. A friend, a mentor, or a small community that forces you to explain moves before executing. The emotional benefit is clarity, fewer panic sales, and better long term returns. One more thing, real stories show how these rules work in practice. Don't skip this. Here is the synthesis: halving matters, but it's not magical. The reliable path is discipline, not prophecy. Use measured position sizing, staggered entries, volatility, windows, and rigid exit plan. Those steps turn halving events from random lottery tickets into disciplined investments. You are not gambling when you prepare. You are managing uncertainty. That mindset decides if halvings make you richer or teach you a painful lesson. If you want more straightforward crypto lessons on hype, just what works, subscribe now and join the community. I post weekly guides that help beginners avoid expensive mistakes and build steady skills. Before you press anything, watch the next video: Productivity and Learning Habits for Investors. It's a short one that shows how to stop emotional trading and build a learning routine that compounds returns. Click it now. Don't trade another coin without those habits. See you in the next one. Trade smarter, not louder.